Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's the day you've all been waiting for. Well, maybe not all of you. Some of you have been waiting for. I'm going to clean up this 69 Hard Blue F-250 I just picked up. I'm going to clean it up and pull the camper off of it and see what's underneath it. So stick around, you don't want to miss this. Well guys, we're on our way to the shop. I drove this thing home. Since I got it running, it's still running pretty good. Gonna go to the shop, we're gonna yank this camper off the back and see what the bed's like. And I also want to wash the outside of the truck and see how this paint cleans up. I also need to clean the windows. I haven't even cleaned the windows. You can barely even see out of them. There's a bunch of haze and everything on them and they're all dirty. So I'm gonna clean the windows, I'm gonna clean the oxidation off the paint on the outside, and most importantly, gonna yank this camper off. Because I'm really interested in seeing what this bed looks like. It's probably not going to be perfect. I'm kind of hedging my expectations there on that, but I'm hoping it's in really good shape since this thing was mostly used for camping trips. So I'm going to get it in there, I'm going to back it in the shop and get the lift ready and see if we can pick it up with the lift. And hopefully it doesn't fall apart when I pick it up or anything like that. But we'll give it a shot and hopefully everything goes easy peasy, no problem, no drama. And we'll get this thing picked off and then we'll check out the bed underneath this thing. So let's go. I'm gonna get the shop and then we'll figure out from there. Okay, back here at the shop, let's see if I can get lined up. I gotta go to that back door over there. Well guys, it's almost ready to take off. Got the truck pulled in here on the lift. Got the supports off and gonna pick it up, try to pick it up the lift on this right here. Hopefully it doesn't crush. It looks like it's a 2x something, 2x4, 2x6, something like that. That's what the mounts to hold it on the truck are on, so hopefully it's strong enough to support the truck or the camper. The old way of unloading it, there was rollers on the back and he cranked it off right here and slid it off the truck. So I don't think this was originally intended to support the camper, but we'll give it a try. I think that's going to be the easiest way to get it off. So I'm going to get these arms lined up and try to pick it up and see if it starts crunching or anything like that, because if it does, I definitely don't want it to collapse and fall on the truck. So if it does that, I'm going to have to regroup, but hopefully this thing doesn't weigh too terribly much and we can pick it up right here. So wish me luck. Well, the first go didn't go very good. Went to pick it up and it was picking the truck up, and looked down in here and there's some rollers and a tab that it's hooked up underneath here. So gonna have to set the arms down, drive forward, and see if I can roll the camper back with the crank arm and get it unhooked from those rollers right there and see if we can get it freed up from the truck. Well guys, we got the camper off. It wasn't too bad. Here's those hooks I was talking about that it was hooked on the front. See those hooks? And there's rollers right here on the front of the camper that rolled on the bed. That was hooked in the front the first time I tried to pick it up anyway. And so what we did was there's a crank that you insert right here. And then there's a locking tab here we had to right there. And then you crank this and it slid the camper back out of those notches, and then we were able to pick it up. Picked it up, the truck was sitting pretty level, and we picked it up. The front picked up a lot sooner, and we kept picking up, and I thought maybe the back end was attached in some way. And we looked real hard and couldn't see a way that it was attached, so we kept picking it up, and finally it lifted up. The truck came up a lot. The springs were settled a lot, so that's good. Got it on there. I think it's pretty solid. This is certainly real solid. Didn't ever get any indications that was going to fail in any way. Here's the original legs. The way whenever you would have slid it back all the way back to here and then set those legs down and picked it up. Which I guess I could have done it that way outside of the shop, but I just didn't want to drag that camper all the way across that bed any more than I had to. So I think this came out right. It came off awful easy. I think I'm going to pull another truck in here. That Explorer, that 70 Explorer I got a while back for a parts truck. I still have the bed on it. I'm gonna put some good tires in the back of it and slide it in here and set that on that, and then I can pull that truck and this camper out of the way. I'm thinking about leaving this camper as an option to buy with the truck when I do sell it, because I just love all this stuff. I have everything to make it fit on this truck, and it all goes with the camper. We have all the latches for the tailgate and everything still, and all the tie downs and everything. I just thought it's cool that everything's here, even though the camper is kind of in bad shape. But I mean, the structure is pretty solid. I think it's wood, so you kind of it's iffy, I think. But this is bad right here, obviously, because the roof was leaking, and this plywood under here would have to be replaced. But just pull the skin down and replace the plywood and put the skin back up, I think, is how you do that. But I think I want to leave the camper as an option. If you buy the truck and you want the camper, I think it would be cool to have that option, since there's the history with this truck and this camper. Instead of just trying to sell it for $100 to get it out of here or give it away to somebody, I think I'm just going to hold on to it until this truck leaves. And if the person that buys this truck doesn't want the camper, and then I'll do something with it. So, a bunch of stickers here on the back of the truck. So it was used without the camper at some point for some things. Because why would you have stickers on the back window if the camper was on it? So the camper has been off it a few times. It's got some scratches on here, and there's some dings in this wheelhouse here. Looks like the camper has ran into it a few times. But other than that, the bed is really nice shape, which is awesome. The bed floor. This has been painted because the bed bolts are painted. So the bed was painted when the rest of the truck was painted. I was kind of wondering if it was just a front end repaint, but seeing those bed bolts painted, everything was repainted. So, which that's not bad, especially if I buff this. It'll be thicker paint, so it'll be less chance of burning through it, which I absolutely hate. So I have to decide if I want to put new fenders on it. There's a little bit of dents in the hoods. There's one right there, and there's kind of just a little dent right there you can hardly see. If I just wanted to paint the front end, buff the rest, if it would match or not, we have to that's yet to be determined, I guess. Next, I want to get this thing out of here. I'm gonna take a lot of pictures of it and document it the way it is right now, and take it outside, and we're gonna start cleaning this thing and seeing how this stuff comes off. So I'm real excited. It's hard for me not to just take it out and pressure wash it right now, but I want to document it. I want to show how this truck was and how I got it, and just everything. Just because if I was buying a truck, I would appreciate all that. So I'm gonna try to do it right and document everything, and we'll get this thing out of here and start cleaning it up. I can't wait to do that, guys. Well, I'm working on cleaning this truck up here, and you saw me just pressure wash it off with the steam cleaner. I was hoping it would touch this stuff, but it didn't even, the pressure washer didn't even touch it. And right here, I was scrubbing with soapy water and bucket, and that was not very fun. Took a long time just to get this little spot right here clean. And even the stuff on the window, I don't know why it's so tough to even touch this stuff. I scrubbed that with the soapy water and towel and couldn't get it to touch it, and I got some glass cleaner and a cloth, sprayed glass cleaner on it, and still just barely even started breaking through there. Can you see that? This stuff is tough. But what's funny is, if the truck's wet, you can just wipe it off with your hand. I don't see it's wet here. I guess my hand's just more abrasive. See that? Why can't I do that with soap? I don't know. I guess I'm not a professional car detailer. I know if you had a buffing tool, you just buff all this out probably, but I don't have any of that or have the knowledge or skill to do it correctly. So I was just trying to do it, just try to give the truck a wash. And I know some of you guys might be saying, just take it to a car wash and use the foamy brush, but closest car wash to me is 30 minutes away, so not that easy for me to just load it up and go do that. But I'm gonna try to do some more scrubbing with the soap and see if I get anywhere. And if I do, I'll show you guys. I forgot to show you the bed. Here's the inside of the bed after it's all cleaned out. Has some scratches in it and stuff, obviously, from sliding the camper in and out. But I think it turned out pretty darn nice. Still not just perfect, but up in here is all just super nice. Real nice. That's just perfect paint up in there. The wheelhouses are scratched up a little bit, and there's some damage right there to that one from getting hit with something. But the bed floor is awful straight. No major dents of any kind, just some scrapes. Really nice shape. The bed turned out awesome here. Here's a better look at that track, or that thing that pulled the camper back. And has a really nice bumper. In fact, the 72, the green crew cab special I have that came from Colorado has this exact same bumper on it, except it's all rotted out. But this one is in good shape. Even has the little rubber pieces right here too. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this door some more, see if I can get it to clean up. Well, as you just saw, I was working on the door here and trying to scrub that oxidation stuff off a little bit and try to clean this door up. And how it works some, it didn't get everything off because you can still rub some off with your hand. And it took a lot of work for just doing this door. So I kind of gave up and decided not to do the whole truck just because the amount of time it was going to take was not worth the result, because this was not what I was wanting. So I think I'll have to decide what I want to do on this truck. I think as far as exterior goes, you know, I have a couple ideas, I guess. Thought about replacing the fenders and fixing the spots in the hood. Like there's this hole here for the CB antenna, and there's a couple of dents on there. So fix like that hole, put new fenders on it, take these little support things off and fix these holes, and then paint the front end and buff the rest if it matches. If it doesn't, then probably take these goofy mirrors off and fill all these holes, and put some good mirrors on it that I like, and repaint the whole thing, which seems kind of a waste because it has pretty decent paint on it, other than the white oxidation, you know, if we can get that off. But all these little things right here, you know, kind of where do you stop, I guess. Even all the way back here at the bed, I can take these hooks off and fill these holes, and there's a little bit of lub dent right there, and just stuff like that. You kind of got to decide how far you're going to take it. So I have some thinking to do on that. Haven't made up my mind yet. I've been going back and forth. You know, I think I made my mind up. I'm going to repaint the whole thing and fix it, and then I kind of, well, I could just buff it and it would still look really nice, but you know, I have a lot of thinking to do on that. But what I've been working on here is I'm trying to get it to run off the fuel tank. The in-cab fuel tank's what I tried first. And if you remember, I had a jug. Actually, I have it hooked up to the jug right now. But that had a jug in here to get it running. I hooked the hose back up to the factory line, and I checked the fuel tank to make sure there wasn't a bunch of old gas in there, and it was actually bone dry in there, so that's good. So I put about like 6 gallons of gas in here, and filled the carburetor up with gas and tried to start it, and it ran all the fuel out of the carburetor and died. So sometimes it can be a little tricky to pull fuel up from the tank in there, a long ways away, and if it's bone dry. So I filled it back up again, tried it again, and no go again. So then I did a little more digging, and the pickup in the tank is plugged up. So took the line off and tried to blow air down in this line, and the line is all plugged up, and I have a piece of welding rod in here actually trying to get it unstuck. See all that stuff? That's old varnished gas that's in that fuel line. Can you see that? That's what's in that fuel line there. And it plugged it up. So there's a bunch of old gas in this tank at some point, and it evaporated out and left that goo behind in that pickup tank, or the pickup tube, and plugged it up. So I'm trying to get that unplugged currently so I can use this tank. But in the meantime, I thought I would check. It's got saddle tanks on it, and they were bone dry too. So I put some fuel in here, put about 3-4 gallons of fuel in here, and tried pulling off of here. I changed the switch to the left tank, and tried to pull off of there. And I had the fuel line going out of the carburetor into that jug there, because the way that pickup line was in the other tank, I didn't want any old varnished gas to make its way into the carburetor and into the engine. So I had that bypassed into this jug here, and it was pumping some air when it was running, and then it just started sucking and pumping, and then I tried it again with the tank right here to see if I could get it to pull up any, and I didn't get it to pull up any. So I think trying to pull that plugged up pickup line, I think that ruined our old fuel pump, which these things, especially when they sit, the diaphragms in them get hard, and they'll run for a little bit, and then they'll quit on you. So every truck I've bought, basically I've had to put a fuel pump on it, because they, unless it's been running constantly, if it's been sitting for a year or 5 years or something like that, the diaphragm, the rubber in there gets, and the seals, they just get kind of old and dried out from sitting without any fuel in them. And then when you start using them, they'll work for a little bit, and then they crack, and then they don't work at all. So it was probably a good idea to replace that anyway. So have a new one. I'll come here today. When it gets here, we'll put that on. So hopefully we'll get this thing running on the fuel tank, so I don't have to have a jug in here. But I did get, I guess I'll show you, I got the hubcaps. Bought a set of hubcaps here for it. This is just one of them. This is the nice one. This is the painted style, not the stainless. This is kind of like the lower level of hubcap, which is this truck's a base model. It's not even a custom, so I thought the painted ones match this truck a little bit better. Here's the other ones I got. They're a little bit rougher shape. I got some paint that I thought was going to match it, but it seems to be a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna have to try again. But was gonna paint those, and I have a decal kit. Actually, it's from a viewer of the channel, as I found out when I ordered it. See, I got this decal kit, and they're decals to replace the painted spots in these hubcaps, so you don't have to mess with painting all that in there and getting all that right. And I mean, you could do it, but it's just time consuming, and these will make it look awful nice. So I'm gonna give this a shot. And when I was talking to the guy and ordering these, he actually is a viewer of the channel. So I'm gonna help this guy out, and if you guys need a set or are curious about them, I'll leave a link to these in the description below, so you can check that out. Also got the tailgate on the truck. I guess I ought to show you that. Here's the tailgate. And this, I think it was, it's never been on the truck since they painted it. It was repainted. You could tell the latch back in here had paint on it. So it's been repainted probably when they painted this, however long ago they painted this. And it hasn't been on the truck since then, because I had to there's rods in here that go to the ends, and then there's a, I don't know what you call it, like a carriage head bolt in there that hooks onto the latch, and it wouldn't unlatch the sides, so I had to move the carriage head bolt over so it could pull on it. Anyway, I don't think it's ever been on the truck because the latch wouldn't have worked. So they took that off when they painted it, and then they put it back on. They didn't get it on just right. But I got all that working, and you can see here the difference in the paint. So that's going to be the problem if we have new paint and old paint, if we can buff this to make it look like that. If not, it's going to look goofy. So I'm going to have to take that to my paint guy. I actually just took this truck to him and got a quote to fix those dents in the back of the cab. And I'm waiting to hear back on the guy that wants to buy that, see what he wants to do there. But next time I'm going to take this to him and see what he thinks. He kind of didn't want to give me an opinion without looking at it, so I understand that. But I'm going to get that fuel pump, and we'll do a little bit of work on this thing, and hopefully we'll have this thing running by the end of this episode. And I have to decide what to do with this thing, and I really don't like those mirrors, but if I take them off, there's going to be a bunch of holes. But anyway, I'm going to get that, gotta get that fuel pump in, and then we'll see if we can get it running. So hopefully it shows up today and we'll get this thing running. So see you then. Well, I got the fuel pump in. Here's the new fuel pump. So I'm going to pull the old one off and get this new one on here and test it and see if we're moving fuel again. So I'll get after it. Well, I got the fuel pump in. Luckily, it's pretty darn easy on these trucks without power steering. If you have a power steering pump right here, it makes it a little bit difficult because it's kind of hard to see what you're doing there. But without that power steering pump there, it's just, you know, 5-minute job. No problem. Got it in, got it hooked up, back to the line. I'm going to try the saddle tank, the left saddle tank first, and see if we can get anything sucked out of there. And still going to leave the feed hose off into that other jug, so we can see what kind of gas we're getting out of there and to see if we're moving fuel. So I'm going to fill up the bowl on the carburetor here so it'll run for a good minute, give us a chance to pull some fuel up. Get this bowl full here so it'll run a little bit longer. Should be good and full. Let's get this, make sure the fuel line is still in the jug over here. Yep. Don't want that thing spraying fuel everywhere. Okay, let's give it a shot. Hopefully it starts moving some fuel. I was kind of worried about the pickup tube in the tank being the same way as this one in here. But we'll give it a shot. Give it a little choke since it's cold. A couple of pumps of the gas. It's wanting to fire off. It's wanting some throttle. Hey, we're moving fuel. See how black or brown that is? Get that old fuel ran out of the lines. I'll wait until it's clear. There, it's clearing up a little bit. I think that's good fuel. Sweet. Now we got a working fuel system. I'm glad that I let this out of the jug here, because it, if you can see how brown that fuel is, the fuel I put in there was clear. So that's all the crap that's in the in those lines and everything. So even though the tank was dry, there was still a bunch of that crap in the line. So hopefully that all gets cleared out of there, and I'm gonna hook this back up to the carburetor and see if she'll run on the fuel in the tanks for the first time. Okay, I got the feed line hooked back up to the carburetor. I'm gonna start it. There's still going to be fuel in the bowl when I poured it in the bowl, but if it stays running for a good minute, that means we're picking up fuel from the tank. So make sure there's no leaks. Looks good. Don't want to let it run too long since I got the shop all shut up. It stays a lot cooler in here when the shop's all shut up. Yeah, I think we got it running off the fuel tank, at least the saddle tank. I'll still have to work on the in-cab tank there and get that freed up, but I think we're making progress on it. You just got to get that varnish broke down in that fuel line, so it'll blow out of there, and then it'll start picking up fuel out of there. And once that fuel starts going through that line, it really helps cleaning them out. But right now, I'm going to leave this thing as is. It'll be the end of this episode. I'm going to take this truck and show it to a few body shops and see their opinion on it, see what they would do on it, and get some quotes about either painting it or fixing it or buffing it, or just kind of see what they would do on it. So I'm going to get their opinion on that, and I'll let you guys know whenever I get it figured out what I'm doing. So you guys will see that on the next episode on this truck, so you don't want to miss that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.